I mean, with the title of your book, where you talk about processing it from sexual betrayal, but when I listened to your definition, what what struck me is the definition of betrayal, trauma, anger doesn't. I mean, we talk about it in the context of sex addiction because that's the world that we live in professionally. But when you're talking about your definition, it doesn't necessarily have to be related to sex addiction, and it doesn't actually necessarily have to be around sexual behavior. It can be anything that the the betrayed experiences as a betrayal. And example that comes to mind for me is, it may not have anything to do with sexuality, but it might have to do with financial secrets or financial behaviors or other kinds of things where the person is feeling that kind of betrayal, and the anger might have a different flavor or different intensity, but it might still fit into that. I just,
Mhm.
So right, Tim. The definition is focusing on intimate betrayal by your
yeah,
intimate partner, right? But also, we know that, like you said, it's not always just the sexual betrayal. It's the emotional betrayal, it's the financial betrayal. Oftentimes, friends and family members and faith community members are part of the betrayal.
yeah,
So, it absolutely, when you're betrayed by somebody you trusted, and it could be across the board. Of course, the purpose of this book is that intimate sexual betrayal, but it encompasses, and I do talk about that. Oftentimes, there's multiple betrayals happening at the same time.
yeah. I mean, that's a really good point because one of the things I often hear from partners, especially if like you go back to addict and partner kind of terminology. If the addict's, college best friend or brother or somebody knew about their acting out and didn't tell the partner or didn't give the partner a heads up or just sort of allowed it to continue to go on, the partner often feels a lot of betrayal, not only from the addict, but feels this betrayal from these other people that were in their life that didn't protect her, even though they didn't directly do that. But it still feels like such a betrayal to the partner, and they have to find a way to get through that.
Mhm.
It really is. It's one more thing to be angry about.
Yeah.
I want
Mhm.
to ask Crystal about the survey that you did. If you could share a little bit more about that. I'm also curious if you had male respondents as well as female.
Mhm.
Curious of the difference, the way that the male betrayed might exhibit or share anger versus the female betrayed.
Mhm. Yes, it had both females and males that took the survey. The male amount of respondents was much, much lower than the female. But yes, males also participated. I also, throughout the book, I have a section in the back of each chapter that is words of encouragement. And I've asked betrayed partners and addicts to share something. And I have several male partners that have shared about their experience and their healing experience, but it was for both. I think betrayal is universal. I think there's some differences, obviously, in men and women in the way they respond. And of course, your personality and your background and your coping skills and support system. There's so many things that impact the way you manage your anger and the way you can heal from betrayal. But yes, it had both men and women in it. Mhm.
Can you give us a sample of what it looks like to get out of that place?
Yeah.
That angry place. I'm so curious.
So I developed a 7 phase calming model. It's a betrayal, trauma, anger calming model. And what I did is I just simply took the acrostic calming and I went through what my experience was with the partners and also information from the survey. So you head into the first one is crisis. So when you say, when do they get out of that state of anger? I don't believe you get out of it because I think, again, there's so many things to be angry about. You can be angry about something, use the protocols and the skills I've given you to process that anger, and an hour later, there's something else to be angry about. So, the focus of this calming model is to help you be where you are, and process the anger. The anger shows up differently, is what my experience has been. So I started noting right? That, oh, it's showing up different here and the anger is different here. And that's how I started to develop these phases. And it's non-linear, but we start in that crisis phase.